Hello and welcome to another edition of Motor Cars Enthusiasts. Right off the bat on the old show today, this is Justin Wilson. Justin Wilson's an ex-Formula One driver. He's now residing in the Verizon IndyCar Series. In fact, at an event that just ended a little over an hour ago from the taping of this particular program, Mr. Wilson was involved in a massive accident in Long Pond, Pennsylvania at the Pocono Raceway. His vehicle actually took a massive shunt, and Mr. Wilson was actually airlifted to local hospital, and it did not look good. I have yet to see the actual incident itself. Came upon the program just after the crash had happened and the cleanup had happened. Mr. Wilson is in hospital as we speak, and I know this video won't be on air for at least several hours. So if you're a praying person, please pray for Justin Wilson. And I know this could go very, very badly, so keep his family and friends in their prayers as well, as they're all going through a tough situation. And check back on the Facebook page, because I'll keep you in tune of what I hear any more about this. I'm going to do a lot of checking to see, probably before this video actually hits air. Next up on the list, a little bit happier news. We're going to talk about the brand new Chevrolet Camaro. The new Camaro on its all-new Alpha platform, revised from the ATS Cadillac. This particular machine is getting a massive amount of stuff, including a massive amount of customization that you can do on this particular machine. I'm hearing the configure. You can go online and do a lot of stuff with striping, not to mention the front and rear valences can be changed, the grille can be changed. You can really make this vehicle your own. And they've released official pricing with that configure as well. Now, the new Camaro comes in 3 different variants as far as the base level versions are concerned. It starts off with a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, making 275 brake horsepower. You can upgrade that to a 3.6-liter normally aspirated V6, making 335 brake horsepower. Or you can go to the top of the line, at least in the base version, the new Camaro SS. That comes with an LT1 6.2-liter normally aspirated V8, making 455 brake horsepower. Now, as far as pricing on this machine is concerned, because General Motors has just released official pricing on these trio of vehicles. Now, the starting price for the turbo 4-cylinder starts off at $26,695 US dollars, but if you go all the way up to the SS, it'll come in at $37,295 US dollars. Obviously, the V6 is going to be somewhere in the middle. Again, this is the base version of these machines. We got high-performance versions coming down the line, not to mention the new convertibles coming down the line, and we'll keep you in tune on all those vehicles when we hear about them. Next up on the list, an interesting little situation. We've talked about the Model S P85D in past programs. In fact, Tesla's let out some information about this machine, saying the vehicle can do 0 to 60 runs in 3.2 seconds. And we've talked about insane mode and ludicrous mode and whatnot. But an interesting little situation, after Tesla actually released all this information, they let these vehicles into the hands of the press, and they confirmed this information. Here we are down the line, and a manufacturer, or at least a group that does a lot of magazine reviews, Consumer Reports. Now, if you're not here from the United States, you may not know who Consumer Reports are. They basically is a group that actually does reviews on almost everything you can think of, from like lawnmowers to kitchen appliances to automobiles. And they do things a tad bit different, because Consumer Reports actually did their test on this thing and found out that their vehicle only did 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. And I know you're probably thinking right off the bat, 3.2 versus 3.5. That's not very much as far as speed's concerned. But actually, 0.3 of a second is a massive amount of difference. Especially if you took a quarter-mile drag race, 1,320 feet, you took 2 Model S P85Ds, had them sent down the track where they left the line at the same time and got to the finish line. The margin of victory would be massive if there was 0.3 of a second between the two vehicles. In fact, you're probably looking at 1, 2, 3 car lengths, possibly. This is a massive amount of difference. Now, why would you believe Consumer Reports versus any other outlet, as far as magazine, newspaper, anything, the lot, as far as those folks, what they got on this particular deal? It's because Consumer Reports does things a lot different. They don't take press cars or anything that's actually loaned to them from the folks over at Tesla or any other manufacturer. They do what you and I would probably do and go right down and plunk down the over $100,000 to buy their brand new Model S. In fact, this could be a Model S that you or I may have bought. So it's an interesting situation that apparently there's this big a gap between one that you could buy versus one that's actually reported on in the magazines. Haven't heard Tesla's side of this, and I'm surprised at that because usually, Elon Musk is on point for actually barking about anybody who actually talks badly about his automobile. So we'll see what comes of this. I'm assuming something's going to come down very, very quickly. Next up on the list, a vehicle from the past and maybe not so distant past, the Volkswagen Phaeton. It was an interesting little machine. It was brought here in the United States several years ago. But again, it was a Volkswagen that was over $100,000 US. Pretty pricey for a Volkswagen's concern. That being said, Volkswagen faithful love the car. In fact, I know of a couple of them in the town that I work in. That being said, the car was a miserable failure when it came to sales here in the United States, prompting one outlet to actually say about Phaeton was a German word for failure. I know that's a little bit on the harsh side. The Phaeton actually sold very, very well all around the world, in fact, over the past several years. In fact, there's an all-new Phaeton that was coming down the pike and was actually being spurred on by head of Volkswagen, Ferdinand Piëch. Well, if you actually watch this particular program, you probably already know that Ferdinand Piëch was kicked out of the Volkswagen Group several months ago, and his championed product has now been put on hold by the Volkswagen Group. Now, this may mean that they may actually be working on something and this vehicle will come out in the future, but a lot of outlets, including the folks over at online.tv, are claiming this vehicle is DOA. It is dead on arrival. The vehicle will never ever see the light of day as far as a production version of the new Phaeton, but we'll wait and see what comes of this particular deal in the future. And that's all there was that I thought was worth talking about for this edition of Motor Cars Enthusiasts. If you want to jump on over to the Facebook page, especially check out updates on Justin Wilson. Please, I ask you to pray for him and his family. You can jump on over. The link's down in the show notes. Also, if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, you can do so at any time. Get the first dibs on the brand new shows as soon as they come out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again real soon.